Fate is a fascinating blight. That's the first thing that crosses my mind as I stand at the curb waiting for the 7:10 bus. The one I never take. The one that limps through town like a tired stray that keeps coming back out of habit. I'm only here because my dad's car sputtered out in our driveway this morning, coughing smoke like it had inhaled something poisonous overnight. Fate nudged me off my usual path, and I ended up at the bus stop instead of half asleep in the passenger seat. Inconvenient? Sure, but harmless. The bus finally groaned its way up the hill, headlights blinking like a creature trying to stay awake. The doors open with a hiss that somehow sounds both exhausted and relieved. I climb aboard, stepping into the faint scent of diesel, damp fabric, and the city's early morning breath. There's the usual crowd, the bundled up woman with too many coats, the man with cement-dusted boots. Usually there are half a dozen students gathered around the aisles. Uniforms, backpacks, tired eyes. Today, not a single one. It seems like kids are disappearing lately. Maybe a coincidence. Maybe everyone just slept in. Maybe holiday break creeping closer as people skipping out. I move toward my usual kind of seat. Third row from the back. Dependable, out of the way. As I step into the aisle, my eyes drift over the passengers, the way they always do. More habit than curiosity. But in an awkward moment, I find my eyes intertwined with strangers. A man sits a few rows up, half turned toward the window. His hair hangs unevenly around his face, and his clothes are rumpled, like he slept in them. Nothing unusual for morning commuters, honestly. Our eyes meet for a split second, flat, disinterested, forgettable. And then he looks away, as if I wasn't worth the effort of noticing. I don't think anything of it. Just another person with a purpose to go somewhere. I slide into my seat, drop my backpack onto my lap, and let out a sigh that feels bigger than it should. My schedule today is packed so tight it feels like it can snap if I pull it the wrong way. 2 back-to-back presentations in the morning, a history test last period, and a student council meeting after school. Basically a full lineup of things designed to dampen my mood before I even hit the school's property line. Riding the bus wasn't part of the plan. Waking up earlier wasn't part of the plan. My dad yelling at the hood of his car like it had owned him money definitely wasn't part of the plan. So yeah, I'm a little irritated. The day's not ruined, just a little off rhythm. The bus rattles like it's about to fall apart, and the lights flicker every time we hit a bump. Normally, I'd find it funny, but today it just makes me want the ride to be over. The morning feels slightly slanted, like someone tilted the whole day by a few degrees when I wasn't looking. It's nothing dramatic, just enough to itch.
Itch. Itchy. That's the first thing that crawls out of my mouth as I drift in and out of whatever stupid dream I was having. Something keeps brushing my face. Soft, repetitive, annoying. I swat at it weakly, still half asleep. I wake up to the soft tapping of something against my cheek. For a second, I think it's rain, or a dream. Or maybe my own heartbeat trying to punch its way out of my skull. Then I blink open my eyes. My alarm clock glares at me from across the room. 3:23. I squint at it. 3:23 a.m. Fine. Got hours before school. I roll over, dragging my blanket with me like a cocoon, letting myself drift back towards sleep. But wait, I don't feel exhausted. I don't feel groggy. My bones aren't begging for mercy the way they usually do this early. I blink again. The room is too bright. I am too awake. I flop back over and stare at the clock with both eyes this time. 3:23 p.m. Ah, damn! The realization hits like a bucket of cold water dumped straight onto my soul. I explode out of bed so fast the mattress rebounds behind me, tripping over my own feet and nearly taking out my nightstand in the process. Why didn't you wake me up? Do you realize how behind I am? I can't afford any more demerits, you know that. The only response is a gentle little murp. I whip around. It's Vaughn, my fat black cat sitting on my dresser like a furry gargoyle. He blinks at me slowly, either apologetic or deeply unbothered. Probably the second one. Just unbelievable, I mutter, already stumbling into emergency mode. And then my room erupts into noise as I dress and equip myself. My front door blasts open like the universe is ejecting me from my own house. The second I hit the street, I swing on my bike and launch myself down the hill at a speed that would make a Suzuki look like a big wheel. I'm on my bike before the echo fades, pedaling down the street so fast the wind slaps tears out of my eyes. The whole neighborhood smears past me in quick strokes of color. Everything blurs around me. houses, mailboxes, the old man walking his dog who shouts something I definitely don't have time to hear. Halfway down Maple Street, my phone buzzes in my hoodie pocket. I slam one hand onto the handlebars and fish it out with the other, nearly swerving into a trash bin.
Glenn, where the hell are you?
It's Alex, voice sharp with the exact kind of disappointment I'm too familiar with. Hey, buddy, I pant. So, funny story.
It better be a good excuse.
He snaps.
Mr. Chandler already marked you absent, and we're about to start last period.
Okay, I say, pedaling harder. Hear me out. So, hypothetically, if I accidentally thought it was 3 in the morning, but it was actually 3 in the afternoon...
Glenn, are you for real right now? You can't afford any more demerits.
That's what I told him! Alex paused to contemplate what had just escaped my mouth for a moment before breaking the silence.
Glenn, if you were blaming your tardiness on your cat, again, so help me.
I hear Alex inhale deeply, like he's about to lecture me into another dimension. But I don't get the chance to hear it, because right then a car shoots out of a side street without stopping. Oh, hold! I yank my handlebars, skidding sideways. The car zooms past me, a hair away from turning me into sidewalk art. My heart slams against my ribs, my wheels fishtail, but somehow, miraculously, I don't crash. There's a long pause on the phone. Alex finally says,
Glenn, are you taking this call while riding your bike?
I glance at the phone in my hand, then at the road, then at the phone again. No? I try.
Yeah, it's a miracle you survived this long.
I sigh. Okay, yes, but I'm fine, you know? I ain't gonna die.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, I say, pedaling around a curve. I'm 16. I can't die. I just don't see it happening. Another long silence. When Alex speaks again, his voice is quieter. Not angry, not shocked. With another trademark sigh, he says,
Glenn, teenagers die all the time. Time. Pencils down. Everyone please pass up your tests. The sentence rings out like a bell, tolling from my academic dignity. Around me, half the class looks perfectly fine, stretching, cracking their knuckles, trading smug little comments about how that wasn't so bad. Meanwhile, I'm trying to remember what the difference between two nearly identical empires was, and why my brain decided to stop functioning somewhere around page 5. Or was it minute 5? Beside me, Sophie is packing up her things. Not just packing, she's chatting with the girl in front of her, tying her hair back with a loose, lopsided loop, laughing at something I didn't hear. She taps her pencil rhythmically against her notebook as she talks, like she's always carrying a little bit of energy with her. When the girl drops her papers, Sophie bends down to help them without missing a word of her story, and the girl leaves smiling a little brighter than before. Then she looks at me. Really looks. And her expression softens, like she's tuned into whatever storm I'm quietly having.
You okay?
I let out a groan that feels like it came from the bottom of my soul. I'm doomed. She tilts her head.
It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad, I say. For me, I run a hand down my face. Glenn was supposed to help me study second period. He promised. I waited for him, he never showed. And now look at me, academically deceased. I might as well be actually deceased. Sophie raises an eyebrow, amused.
You raising blood as your hamster key?
I wince. The judgment is deserved. In my defense, I mutter, he's weirdly good at history when he actually tries, and he owes me for helping him with math last month. She laughs, a soft, almost airy sound that's somehow more embarrassing than if she mocked me outright.
Oh my god, Lloyd. You can't rely on Glenn. He forgets his own birthday.
Okay, that was one time.
It was last year.
I sigh in defeat. Sophie finishes zipping up her backpack and nudges me with her shoulder.
Hey, it's alright. Let me help you next time. I actually like this stuff.
I blink. Seriously? She nods.
Seriously, I won't ditch you.
A flush creeps up my neck before I can stop it. I'm grateful, and for some reason, suddenly aware of how close she is. That'd be great.
Good. It's a date then.
She grins. My brain flatlines for a full second before she adds,
A study date.
Oh, right. Yeah. I sling my backpack over my shoulder. Definitely. She waves before heading into the hallway, swallowed by the noise of lockers and echoing footsteps. For a moment, she's a bright spot in an otherwise hectic day. Someone who makes the world feel a little lighter without even trying. And for the first time today, I feel like things might turn around. But the thought doesn't last. Sophie reaches the doorway, half bended into the traffic of students. Then she turns back, leaning playfully against the frame.
Hey, Slowpoke. Are you gonna stand there the rest of the afternoon, or are you coming to the meeting? Don't tell me you forgot, silly.
She grins, warm, effortless, then disappears around the corner for good. Right, the meeting. The rest of the day waiting for me. Like an assembly line, I have no choice but to ride. Another obligation, another box to check, another hour scraped off the clock. The monotony settles back onto my shoulders. I sling my backpack higher and merge into the hallway traffic. Whatever small spark of brightness I felt fades into the rhythm of everything I still have to get through. Every month, student council gathered in room 3C. Cracked windows, flickering lights, the faint smell of old chalk baked into the walls. We were sorting through next semester's proposals, budgets, club disputes, the eternal freezer crisis in the cafeteria. Nothing dramatic, nothing dangerous, just business as usual. 15 of us. Sophie scanned her notes beside the whiteboard. Alex balanced his chair like he was auditioning for a stunt team. Mr. Chandler muttered at the projector. I handled my secretary pile, the stack of forms determined to outlive me. My hands fell into rhythm. Flip, read, staple, pass. Read, flip, read, staple, pass. Silence cracked the room in half. All motion stopped. Hands frozen mid-scribble. Alex's chair thumbing back onto four legs. Sophie looking toward the door with confusion, creasing her brow. Sophie stepped forward.
I'll check what that was.
She reached for the handle. The door swung inward, and he walked in. It was the man from the bus, taller than I remembered. Shoulders slouched, clothes scorched and torn, like he dragged himself out of a fire. His face half hidden between uneven strands of hair, one eye irritated red, the other dull and unfocused, his hand dripping something dark that pattered against the tile. My chest collapsed in on itself. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. Sophie froze in front of him, mid-step, mid-breath, mid-thought. He moved first, a blur, too fast to process. And Sophie crumpled without a sound, scattering papers like startled birds. Mr. Chandler lunged toward her out of instinct. The man caught him and slammed him into the whiteboard so hard the metal frame cracked inward. Someone screamed. The treasurer stumbled back, hands trembling, but she had nowhere to go, and he was on her in the next heartbeat, dropping her like a marionette with its strings cut. 3 gone, their lives taken in mere seconds. The rest of us were statues. My muscles didn't exist anymore. Fear rooted all of us so deeply the floor could have swallowed us whole. He walked deeper into the room, slow, controlled steps, and stopped beside one of the newer members, a freshman, someone who had never spoke unless asked. The man reached into his pocket and placed a knife on the student's desk, deliberately, gently, like an offering. The student stared at it, shaking so violently the blade rattled against the wood. The man raised his other hand, the one holding the gun. He pointed it at the student, then pointed the barrel toward another girl across the room. No words, no explanation. Just the silent, unmistakable command. Do it, or die. My breath vanished. Alex whispered, "Oh God, Lloyd, he's making us... He's really..." The student shook his head, tears splashing onto his desk. The man stepped closer, lifting the gun higher, tilting it just enough that the threat was unmistakable. The student choked on a sob. No one moved to stop him. No one dared to. Fear welded us all into place. This was the moment This was the moment the room changed forever. The moment we understood. He wasn't here to kill us. He was here to make us kill each other. The silence was deafening, louder than any sound that could have been. The still washes over all of us that remain. I'm strewn in a desk that has somehow managed to keep upright for the past 2 hours. The others have found places too, tucked into corners, huddled into their knees, pulling fingers hard enough to nearly fracture their joints, staring at a clean spot on the floor where the blood hasn't hardened yet. A red iris hidden in an invasive shadow hardly pays attention to the standstill he's permitted us. He isn't waiting for any of us to make a move. He knows we're too tired and too powerless to stop him. He's playing with this food, toying with us even after his sick games drained the adrenaline from our bodies. He's hardly said a word since it all began, only implying what he wanted by action or example. Like a test of our will to see how far we would let ourselves go before we couldn't take it anymore. We learned almost immediately it was a foolish choice to go against him. We would only survive if we listened, and we would only survive that if we were cruel. If we were willing to sacrifice someone else just to grit our teeth a couple hours longer before taking our own last breath. I have done horrible things tonight. I will never forgive myself. I would end my own life if he'd let me. Why? The thought brings out the question in me naturally. My lips quiver over the stumbling quiet word before I recognize I'm saying it. I feel all the eyes in the room turn on me as though I've trampled on our tainted peace, as though I'm their enemy now for questioning the uncaring orchestrator of our suffering. Why? I'm asking again louder. The tip of my shoe accidentally steps on the historian's wrist. The chair I beat him to death with jostles when I stand.
Why? Why?
I'm screaming now. The people I once called friends cower in fear at such a simple question, one that hitches in my throat. I choke on the last syllable while tears I shouldn't show stream down my cheeks. There's still no answer, but I can't stop until I get something, anything from him.
Why are you doing this to us? What are you getting from this? What have we done to deserve this?
I step over the corpse I made with my own hands, my resolve to live withered away as I try to find closure from a man who has turned a teacher's table into a grotesque throne. He doesn't look at me. His mouth doesn't twitch. He doesn't move a muscle. The echo of my words hang in the air for several seconds, maybe minutes. Then, the drop of his shoe on tile. I can't even describe the way he moves. It's alien. He doesn't walk. He lumbers forward, back slouched, head down, until he spots the body of the treasurer. There's a knife lodged deep into her gullet, because she was naive enough to believe her life meant something to him. He pulls it from her intestines the same way a surgeon makes an incision. I can smell the rot wafting toward the back of the room. I'm so used to it that it doesn't even make me gag anymore. It's nothing to me. Death is nothing to me. My life is nothing to me. The only thing I want before I go is to know what heinous reason this man has for doing all of this. He gets closer, arms hanging loose at his sides. The weight of his presence consumes me before he even reaches me. When he does, all I hear is cool, controlled breaths. My knees threaten to go limp in a final subservient plea, but I hold myself upright and bite my tongue. It won't help. All I can do is wait. I wait, and I wait, and I wait until I finally give him what I want. But it's the last thing I wanted to hear.
I don't know.
I hardly noticed him move before I realized my throat has been split in two. I've forgotten how to breathe. I've forgotten how to think. The silence is deafening.
It's drizzling when I get to the school. That light, annoying kind of rain that sticks to your eyelashes and makes everything look smudged. I skid into the parking lot on my bike, dump to get near the rack, and sprint towards the old wing with my hood half falling off my head. I know I'm late, but I didn't think I'd see this. 2 police officers stand at the mouth of the hallway leading to room 3C. Their cruisers sit crooked, lights spinning silently against the wet pavement. I slow for half a second, confused, then panic reignites me. One officer steps forward.
Hey, you can't be over here.
I'm supposed to be in that meeting, I yell back, still running. Sorry, no time. If I miss this, I'm dead. Tries to grab my arm,
Kid, stop!
but I slip past him, shoes skidding on the wet tile, ignoring every command behind me.
Get back here!
My heart is beating way too fast. From the sprint, from the adrenaline, from absolutely no clue what's going on. The hallway feels wrong. Echoey. Hollow. I reach the door to room 3C. It's open just a crack. Lloyd? Alex? Sophie? I call. I push the door open, and everything in me stops. The room is destroyed, chairs overturned, papers soaked with dark stains, the air thick with the smell I've only ever imagined in nightmares. Bodies are scattered across the tile, still, silent, wrong. My brain doesn't register it all at once. It just buckles. My brain refuses to understand it at first. Then my eyes land on him. On the ground. Slack. Wrong. I stumble forward, fall to my knees beside him. My hand finds his shoulder. Cold. The kind of cold that sinks into your bones even when you try not to feel it. Lloyd? The word barely makes it out. Outside, the drizzle taps softly against the cracked window, steady and distant. It feels strange that something so normal is still happening, that the world hasn't paused. And then pieces of the day start slipping back into my head. Not clearly, but more like stabs to my rapidly beating heart. Waking up too late, thinking it was morning when it wasn't. Vaughn blinking at me like none of it mattered, gunning through traffic at breakneck speeds, missing the room. Tiny things. Nothing things. But now, standing here, they all feel like steps I didn't know I was taking. Steps that led me away from the store and left everyone else inside it. All of it lines up in my head like dominoes that tilted the wrong way. Tiny things, stupid things, things that felt like nothing at the time. But standing here, kneeling here, they suddenly feel like threads someone had been quietly tugging at all day. Threads that pulled me out of the room. Threads that left everyone else inside. I swallow hard, but my throat barely works. I wasn't here. I wasn't supposed to be here. Or maybe I was, and fate got confused, or tired, or bored. Whatever it is that makes moments like this tilt sideways. My fingers tighten on the fabric of his shirt. My breath shakes. The rain keeps tapping. Soft. Steady. Almost thoughtless. I don't say anything else. I just kneel beside the friend who never got any of the lucky detours I did, and I let the realization settle in its quiet, unforgiving way. Every tiny accident today pushed me out of this room, and every tiny accident pushed him into it. The drizzle keeps falling, and fate feels closer than ever. They bring me outside eventually. The drizzle has settled into a thin mist, drifting across the parking lot like the world is trying to wash itself clean but doesn't know how. Lights flash softly against the wet ground. Radios crackle. The school looms behind me in a pale blur. I stand there, not sure what to do with my hands, my breath, or the hollow space where my voice used to be. A detective approaches, older, steady looking, The kind of face that's seen too much and is tired of seeing more.
You're Glenn, right?
He asks gently. I nod.
You're the one who ran in earlier.
He doesn't sound angry, just sad. I swallow. My friends were in there. He follows my gaze to the building. His jaw tightens.
We've been trying to track this guy for weeks. Students have been disappearing in other districts just outside of town. Same pattern, same wounds.
He rubs a hand over his forehead.
We didn't know he'd end up here.
My stomach turns, slow and heavy. The detective shakes his head.
He escaped out a second-story window, left a trail, but nothing we could follow.
The drizzle taps faintly on my hood, soft and steady, like it's trying not to interrupt. I wet my lips, trying to form the question clawing at the back of my throat. Why? I finally ask. Why would someone do this? The detective exhales through his nose, a long, tired breath.
We interrogated him once. Before he vanished the first time, he didn't give us a motive. Nothing about ideology or revenge or even anger.
I stare at him, waiting, needing something more than that. But he just shakes his head again. His silence landed like cold water in my chest. A force without meaning. A man without reason. A monster who didn't even understand his own monstrosity. The drizzle gathers at my eyelashes. I'm not sure if it's rain or tears. People talk about fate like it's purposeful, like there's a message wrapped inside everything that happens. But standing here, next to a detective who doesn't have answers in a school that will never feel the same again, I can't see any purpose at all. Just moments. Just accidents. Just the way a day can bend without warning. Oversleeping, missing a bus, laughing at the wrong things, turning left instead of right. Tiny, harmless details that nudged me out of that room and kept my friends inside it. The detective steps away to speak with someone else. I stay where I am, rooted to the damp pavement, staring at the building where everything changed. The drizzle softens. The night grows still, and the thought settles in, quiet and merciless. Fate is a fascinating blight, not because of what it gives, because of what it leaves behind.